It's me, Grover, podcasting otter on Grove Street FM. You're about to listen to a sample of this show. If you'd like to hear the podcast in its entirety, download the Grove Street FM app and sign up for Grove Street FM Plus.
Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios in Bedford, Virginia, you're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness with your host, Brian Schley.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Life, Liberty, Happiness. We are live in the David Hallnaker State Farm Studios here in the beautiful town of Bedford, Grove Street, in the Watts Creative Studios. Sponsored by David Hallnaker State Farm. Got a little guest coming on today.
He's not little.
No. He is with the Campbell County Sheriff's Department. It is Mike Mayberry. He is the school resource officer.
So cool.
We'll talk a little school safety. A little apropos music here at the beginning. So I can't wait to get to that. That'll be fun. Joining me in the studio, Trent Warner.
Hey.
And Woody.
Hey.
We're all discombobulated. My printer went down, so I'm having a look at the agenda on the phone. What else?
We have some big shoes to fill. I feel like I got a little bit echo here, but
oh my God.
Well, I mean, it wasn't much pre-production show.
Well, hey, listen.
And I want to let you know that I had a listener tell me last weekend that he wanted his 50 cents back for the show the week before when you were out of town and me driving around.
Yeah, I don't blame him on that one.
That was a tough show.
Okay.
Well, this one hadn't started out very good, so I'm getting 75 cents out.
Oh, well, you can give him money out of your pocket.
Well,
the reason we're behind today is because each of us have a full-time gig. Our insane profits that we make from this show just haven't come to fruition yet. That's not today's word.
Fruition.
But anyway, got a big show to get to. We got a lot of material to cover. So let's get started with this day in history. Dum, dum, dum.
Make your own bumpers now?
In 1861, Fort Sumter was fired upon by the South. This sparked the beginning of the war between the states.
Shot heard around the world.
Do you remember that, Woody?
Yeah, I remember that. I was there.
Did you learn that in school?
He ducked.
Dog. Lucky to be here, really.
All right. Our word of the day is words.
Going fast.
So I got an agenda to get to.
Max cut off.
We got 2 minutes. Our
Feel
words
stressed, Trent.
of the day
Stressed.
I mean, I'm so
are tight as a tick.
Tight as a tick.
So what does that mean, Woody?
That's a good question.
It's how tight the tick is when it's biting.
Okay.
Oh,
What I've always envisioned it to be. This is a horrible story.
Oh my
oh
God.
God, here we go.
But when me and Brad were little, we had a friend of ours. I think his name was Justin. He took a tick off a dog, and it had been on there so long that it was tight. Like it looked like a marble.
Well,
Like a tick.
And
Tight as a tick.
he put it on a little brick wall and took another loose brick. And when he hit it,
It's blood.
it came out and shot. It might have hit my brother.
well,
It might have hit your brother.
oh my God.
And that was tight as a tick.
Oh, well.
Maybe it's tight like how to get them off.
Okay. I think that is what it means. I mean, that's the story of your life. You've always been tight as a tick. Not really. Trent, we were making fun of Trent this weekend
Well, it's
at the campground.
hard to believe.
If ever you want to partner up with somebody, Trent's your guy. Like, Woody, if you said, hey, Trent,
Unless you're a wife.
you want to... yeah, you struggle a little bit on the wife side.
Or a business partner.
If you want a business partner, Woody, say,
Yeah.
hey, Trent, you want to go half in on all this new equipment
Yeah.
for the studio?
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. He's never going to use it, but he'll pay half.
There you go.
Well, I mean, you never know. Good investment's a good investment, whether I use it or not.
There you go.
I can see what's good.
That's right.
Oh, you're such an idiot. All right,
That's rude.
on to drama.
I come down here.
What?
In the third hour,
your own spinoff?
I mean, I'll bring an agenda.
Yeah, he needs a spinoff.
I thought he was. I thought that was in discussions or negotiations or something.
Word of the day.
Bring Brad back.
Nope.
Oh my God. What is Oh. Anyway, hi to all our listeners too. I forget to always say that because we're in the thousands.
Man,
It's shocking to me that we have reached.
That's awesome.
I mean, we've got people in Nebraska, Jamaica now, right?
Yep.
Jamaica me hungry.
California.
California raisins.
We had listeners last week that were on vacation, right?
Y'all there was a listening party on a deck. I heard.
That's right. They had a listening party.
A listening party. That's the new trend around here, apparently, for Life Liberty.
Drinking games.
Drinking games. Yeah.
All the corrections that Dave finds, they drink.
Oh, well, then they're sitting around doing nothing.
Took 5 minutes. They're out.
There's no corrections on this show. Hell, we've had to correct Dave. It's true. All right. Drama. Do you already play the bumper? Yes.
I did.
All right. Today's top 10 list. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is fresh. Trent hasn't even seen it.
I haven't seen anything. I'm
all right.
Driving blind.
Top 10 eateries that are no longer around here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
One jumped right in my mind, but I'll have to write it down.
All right. Number 10. Pizza Inn.
Huh?
You know, they still have those in some places.
That's what my mom said.
They do have them.
But not here.
No, I agree with you.
And as a kid,
I love this category.
We used to love going to Pizza Inn. It was on it's where La Villa's is.
Yes.
That's where it used to be Pizza Inn.
Yeah. I think it was Pizza Inn when I was here. Early 90s. 94. Yeah.
Number 9.
Didn't they choose to Pizza Den? Wasn't there like that transition?
Yeah. Number 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Golden Skillet.
I remember that.
We had one in Brookneal.
I don't think I ever went, which is probably why they're closed.
Number 8, Landmark Steakhouse.
Never heard of it.
What? Okay, do you remember, where
Crown Sterling?
Crown Sterling is?
Okay.
Kind of across the street down from it.
Where Rubs is?
No. Do
you remember Rubs?
Yes. It's up from Rubs. Yes.
Okay.
There's a post office across the street from.
I got you.
So go past what used to be called the Fort Plaza.
Yeah.
On the right hand side is a little building. It was a Japanese restaurant here recently.
Do you remember Rumors? You just mentioned Fort Hill.
Oh,
do you remember Rumors?
Yeah.
When we first got here, that was the joint.
Rumors.
That was one of the joints. And Gatsby's.
Number 7.
Am I stealing your thunder?
No.
I'm worried about that because I don't have a list.
Number 7. Okay. Bonanza.
Yes.
We had a Bonanza. Always had free ice cream.
Them and Ponderosas.
Yes. That was a good one too. And number 6. You get the top 5 in hour number 2. Number 6, Cedar Street. Do you remember Cedar Street?
Never heard of that.
I guarantee you've been in it.
Possibly.
Go down. Do you remember Cedar Street?
My memory is not fantastic.
No, I don't know. I don't remember half.
Where is it?
I went to Cedar Street for my prom date, I think.
Where was it?
What was his name? Your date?
For those people who are listening to the whole show today, our guest coming up, Mike Mayberry, I guarantee you he's in the waiting room right now. He's probably going, yep, because he's been to every one of these places. Cedar Street was go down, what's that road? You know where the Yellow Sub is?
Yes.
Oh, God. And now, speaking of great places,
yes,
that place is great.
Go past that, and it was down on the right. Big building. I forgot what it was called after Cedar Street. It's empty now.
All I know is the studio lines are blowing up with text messages.
About what?
On in hour number 2, your remaining 5.
Yeah.
They're sending me list of what names better be on it. So you better hope your other 5.
It should be good.
Yep.
All right, you're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness. Now on to sports.
Life, Liberty, Happiness, Sports.
All right, Trent, I'm afraid to tell you this, but my wife and I actually watched the WNBA draft the other night. We were flipping through the channels.
Not surprising.
No. What was funny about it was flipping through the channels, and they're trying to make this a massive production, right?
Yeah.
It's the WNBA draft. The room was the size of this studio.
Let me ask you something. Before the WNBA draft, do you think you could have asked 10 people who's going to go number one? And they would know the answer?
Maybe this year.
What?
Maybe this year.
Dude, I watch sports and I have no idea. Is
right.
somebody from South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
The bigger question would have been all those players who decided to stay. If they had come out, who would have been the number one?
Oh, okay. Like
would you have
Chrissy
taken
Clark?
Boston over Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark. Who's Boston? Is she from the South Carolina? Is she the big?
Yes.
Okay. She's pretty good.
Yes.
I remember seeing her play.
Yeah. But I asked this question.
Is the girl from LSU coming back? The Nisi girl or whatever? Yeah. She's coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's not a senior?
No, she's just a sophomore.
Oh, wow.
But the point guard is gone. She got drafted. Morse.
Dude, if you're an athletic director, don't you have to get Iowa to play LSU in a regular season?
That's what we were talking about. Now you have to. Absolutely.
You got to do that, right?
And you might not know this, but the girl for Louisville, who was an unbelievable shooter.
Yeah.
She has entered the transfer portal.
Oh, okay.
And so Logan texted me, you think she'll end up at LSU? I don't want her to. I want her to go to Iowa. I want a rivalry.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Because that team is awesome to watch.
So you're now against LSU?
No. I just would like to see.
Who did you root for in the finals?
LSU.
It sounds like you rooted for Iowa.
No. If she goes to LSU, who's going to compete? Nobody.
South Carolina. Certainly South Carolina's.
They lost. They had 5 girls get drafted in this draft.
Well, good. Hopefully they start losing.
The question that I have is if you're talking men's basketball,
okay,
which is the bigger story? Iowa, LSU, or South Carolina losing? If we're talking men's basketball.
In men's basketball.
Yes.
LSU, South Carolina, or Iowa. In men's?
Yeah.
Who would care about any of that?
No, I'm saying if you're watching sports and it's men's sports.
All right, I'm trying to picture it.
All right, what I'm telling you, as dominant as South Carolina was, they were the old UNLV.
Okay, I'm tracking with you.
They lost to Iowa in the Final Four.
Okay.
That's the story. But nobody's talking about that.
It fell.
If it's men's sports, it's less about LSU and Iowa in the finals and more about South Carolina losing in the semifinals.
Possibly. Because
that was UNLV. They were unstoppable. They hadn't lost a game in 2 years.
Is this another Duke discussion?
No, oh my God. There are times I just want to choke.
Well, who beat UNLV?
No, I'm just saying.
Just answer the question.
It is
what team beat UNLV?
Duke.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. This is another Duke discussion.
All right, we've spent way too much time.
Okay, I'm sure it's
on women's
past the cutoff.
Well, we're getting close, but
it's hard to stay on the agenda when you don't have an agenda.
Today it is, yes.
Why don't you
just
email it to me?
You do what I didn't have time today.
You're sitting right there. You can't hit send.
Yeah, but you're not going to look at it.
He had a traumatic experience.
I did have a very. We don't want to bring that up. Why do you want to delay the show?
What happened?
Oh my God!
Oh, hour 2. Save it for hour two.
It is such a forget.
It is such a good story, Trent.
Oh, it's terrible.
By the way, Dave is completely insulted by you.
Why?
Because he's texted me.
He missed one time, but that's me. I've only missed once. Dave,
tell Brian if I ask a question and you answer it, you are not correcting me. He has never corrected me.
Oh, Dave, I didn't even know what an eraser was till I met Trent.
I was afraid where you were going with that.
Anyway, on to NASCAR. Do you want to talk about NASCAR?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Dirt race.
Stupid.
Get rid of it.
Dumb.
It's so dumb.
Cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Means nothing. It was a great gimmick. Made me want to see it. Like I came home early because they had the first time they ran it in the afternoon. Yeah. The dust cloud was so dusty you couldn't see the cars.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, give it another year. But after that, nobody was there this weekend. That place used to be, you couldn't, like I went in
you couldn't get
2004s and I could not get a ticket. I thought, well, I'll just get someone to scalp a ticket when we get there. You couldn't get a scalp ticket. It was that crazy.
Give me Bristol back. Give me the concrete service.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, good. I mean, it was kind of interesting that Chris Bell is that good of a driver. And Tony Stewart, oh my God, what a weenie.
Yes.
That guy sees a crash in front of you and refuses to say he used to create crashes. He was supposed to be in the booth like Clint Boyer because he was controversial, and he toes the corporate line.
Yes.
Get rid of him.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. All right. Your thoughts on the Masters. I wanted to get your take on Jon Rahm won.
Yeah.
So I watched ESPN, and then I flip it over to Fox. Colin Cowherd's on one, and then you got PTI on the other, right?
Talking about the event
Talking
afterwards?
about the Masters.
Okay, I got you. I'm listening. I'm tracking.
Two total different views. Of course, you got them talking about Jon Rahm.
Yeah.
And you flip over to Colin Cowherd, and he is the exact opposite. And he says, good for John. He won the Masters. But that was not the story. The story is absolutely Phil Mickelson, at his age, finishing second, and having 3 LIV golfers in the top 5.
Yeah.
And he said the reason that is the story is because we watch sports for these people.
Yeah.
That PGA is missing out on people. We talk about Phil and his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Phil's not there anymore to talk about. So this was great having to talk about him.
Do you know what the story was going to be?
What?
Okay, because I actually heard PTI talk about this, and I was fearful that this was going to be the story. That LIV golfers only played 3 rounds. So, of course, Koepka fell apart in the final round. No, that was actually discussed. So PTI said a little bit of that. And that's the only time I heard it. But do you know the reason that wasn't the big story? Because Phil ruined all that.
Well, yeah, you can't.
On the final round, you can't shoot what he shot on
65.
the back 9 and then be a guy that fell apart in the 4th round. Right?
It's crazy.
So that's what they would have said if they had an opportunity. But Phil didn't give them an opportunity.
Yeah. So
I also heard PTI say LIV was not mentioned by Jim Nantz one time during the whole weekend.
Exactly.
You know they did that on purpose.
Correct. But Colin Cowherd gets it. I'm not a huge fan of his, but he gets this. And he said, you're an idiot if you keep them out of the majors.
Right.
You're just stupid because you're saying to yourself, it's not about golf anymore. It's about proving a point. And he said, you're going to lose that point because people are now you're going to force them to watch LIV.
Brian, we are in a state now, and I'm going, depending on the agenda and how much time we have.
1 minute.
I'm going to play for you what Bud Light's marketing director said. And we are at a point now where people that run companies such as PGA Golf or the U.S. Open, or how about tennis, not letting Novak in.
Exactly. Stupid.
You are hurting the product for your customer, and you don't care.
Correct.
That's what they do.
Yeah. No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
All right. Sports is brought to you by CNS Business Services. CNS Business Services is your local place to get professional services. Payroll, bookkeeping, taxes, notary, and QuickBooks. Everything is done catered to your needs. Set up a consultation today. Visit their new and improved website at csbusinessservices.online or call 540-586-1120. It's nice to be greeted by those who know you by name, and CNS is a huge supporter of local high school athletics. Not only do they serve the community, they also invest in their community. Professional services by professional staff. Today, tomorrow, and together. CNS Business Services is located in front of the Y in Suite G. Call 1-540-586-1120.
Yep, that's yours.
You're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness. Now, on to what's happening.
Life, Liberty, Happiness News.
All right, Trent. Little, what's happening?
Yes, sir.
The Tennessee 3. Do you know who we're talking about?
Oh, good grief. The people that got kicked out?
Yes.
Was it 2 black guys and a white woman?
Yes. You've got to have an angry old white person.
Why was the white woman
if you're going to have a protest, it's got to have an angry white person.
So you know how like there's something news stories that just make you ill so you don't watch them?
Yes.
I don't watch
that's
that.
One of them.
What happened? Why is the white woman in the middle of the 2 black guys?
I don't know, but that's just part of the protest. You've got to have.
Shouldn't we do better research on a podcast that shows the news?
No, because she's useless.
Yeah.
I mean, so the guy who headed this thing up, I don't even know his name. That's how bad it is. But he's got a big afro, and he wants you to know.
Oh, that guy. I know who you're talking about.
He wants you to know who he is, right?
Yes.
Well, guess what they have found? Fox News found this, but I found this clip on TikTok as well. This is the dude honing his skills when he was in college of becoming a career politician, okay?
Sounds like Obama.
So I want you to hear the difference. The first part of the clip is him in college. The second part was last week when he's giving his speech in front of the audience at the Capitol, okay?
Yeah.
In Tennessee. So play cut 1.
Justin J. Pearson, and I'm running for president of BSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation? I wanted to do this by partnering with organizations from the Bowdoin Democrats to the Bowdoin Republicans. I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices, voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical middle. Seem like the NRA and gun law.
So before you start the second part, it sounds pretty decent, right?
Want to include everybody.
Right. He wants to include everybody. Now I'll play his second part.
Lobbyists might win, but that was good news for us. I don't know how long this Saturday in the state of Tennessee might last, but we have good news, folks. We've got good news that Sunday always comes.
Okay. So first,
he's become a preacher.
Okay, but that's the same guy.
That is not surprising.
The Democrat Party has become actors.
And
that's all it has become.
I'm so glad you brought this up. So Tucker had last night Gavin Newsom in one of his campaigns. And he expressed, he probably rattled off 6 things in his ad. Yeah. Gavin Newsom's ad.
Yes.
And honestly, they were quite effective listening to it. I mean, like when you sit there and listen to it, the way he berates Florida as what they do as a state,
correct,
censoring books, censoring librarians, come to the free state. The one thing that he doesn't mention is how many people have left his state. What he doesn't mention is what he did as during COVID.
Facts.
Right? He doesn't mention facts.
He leaves all the facts
He
out.
just leaves out. And Tucker said the best thing that he said last night. Joe Biden has laid out the groundwork. You just lie.
Yeah.
You just say what you have to, and you will not have anybody question you.
Yeah.
Until you actually believe it.
It's the delivery.
Yes.
They have become actors.
Gavin Newsom's going to be tough to beat. I can tell you that.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you, he might be our next president.
Why do you just piss me off?
Well, I mean, I'm here to tell the truth. That's what I do.
Well,
I tell the facts.
Yeah. You were right. They become, it leads me into my local segment.
Okay.
Which is
something about Tim Black?
To prove the point. No, it's to prove the point. Last night they had a meeting.
Just kidding.
Locally where 30 people showed up expressing their concerns. And what is it about a meeting? You've been to council meetings.
Can't stand it.
Why is the people who stand up and speak like, let's just say last night, if I came there to speak in favor of them annexing, right?
Yeah.
I would have said this was part of the plan 10 years ago. You know, this has all been worked in phases. This is the third and final phase.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing for the town. It keeps our tax base low, and the town provides good services to its citizens.
When you do that, do you use a preacher voice?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But apparently last night it was apropos for this guy to do so. And he rails on.
So locally somebody did
dude,
oh my God.
On. And first of all,
like he's running for president.
You're going to stand up there.
Yeah.
And you're going to basically call out people by name.
Yeah.
The town manager, and you're going to go at him.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you're going to go at the mayor, which, by the way, I want to point this out. The mayor was not part of the reversion 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even part of what went on. And then when you say stuff like you and I have talked about, you're not saying anything that's factual.
Yeah.
First of all, he's saying it's a money grab when he knows nothing about what the reversion was. Second of all, he pays taxes in the county. Do you think he's complained to the county?
No.
No. They're the ones that sold him out.
Yeah.
The town didn't sell him out.
Yeah.
And then he goes on this rant about how they're going to stop it because it's not legal.
Yeah.
Not knowing.
There's been an act for 10 years.
It had to negotiate between what was then a city and the county. So they come up with an agreement. That agreement has to go to the state. And it has to be ratified by the state. And then it has to go through a court system to ensure that everything detail is done.
Yeah.
So what are you going to stop it with? You're going to find you a liberal judge to do
his words. He will change the world.
I don't understand why we can't just postpone this. We haven't had enough time for their petitions. Remember?
Yeah. Man.
And I'm sitting here going, all right, hold on. We're working on year 10 of the reversion. You haven't had time?
And the one thing I hate in my job, the absolute most, you made fun of me because you were on town council and I was trying to get something rezoned. And I ended up getting it rezoned. But you called me afterwards and you're like, man, how long have you been doing this? And I was like, 25 years. And you said, you must be the worst presenter. Like, you get so nervous. And it is true. I literally get so nervous. But there's nothing I can do about it. Since the 4th grade that I've had to stand in front of people to talk. Yeah. I am the God's worst. And somehow I get get stuff approved.
Well, I've told you before.
It's awful.
God's plan was for me not to be on council for this very reason. I couldn't shut up. I would have said something to that fellow last night because I don't care. I'm
would
sorry.
You have,
oh, yes.
You would have said, hey, man, that's out of bounds. It would have made me mad when somebody says a money grab because it makes it sound like I'm trying to take. You know what I mean? That's a rude way of saying something.
There's 2 things when I was on council that I hated hearing. One, transparency. Shut the hell up and get out.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that word.
We have meetings, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every meeting is open to the public. Every meeting.
Yeah.
You don't show up.
Yeah.
But it's we need more transparency.
Yeah. And
when we go into closed session, oh my gosh. They're doing crooked stuff behind closed doors.
Do you know what? It's actually harder. I think about this sometimes too. Don't you think that, like, for example, council has 7 people on it, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be cool, like, if 4 or 5 of you could get together ahead of time and say, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? But you're not allowed to do that, right?
No, sir.
Okay, well, that sucks. So the only time you really literally get to talk about these things together is when you're up there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
yes.
But if you didn't, they would say you're colluding.
I did learn this when I went to Richmond. They give you a crash course on being on an elected official. Mm-hmm. Okay. One of the things the attorney, she was a female attorney and she was phenomenal because she explained things in layman's terms. She said, you have to explain why you are against or for something. Mm-hmm. If you do not and you get sued, you're going to lose because you have nothing to base your decision off of. You've got to have it public. And so I used to get mad because we would go, I'll make a motion, I'll second, all in, no, stop. We're supposed to discuss this, so let's at least discuss it so it's on record.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you would have to stop them to say, all right, if we're all in favor, fine, tell us why.
Yeah.
Just quick.
The only thing I would say about that, I hate when I go to those. So I've been to so many board meetings and council meetings. The only thing I hate is when the guy
hybrid motion. Is that what you get ready to say?
No. The guy that is using this as his opportunity to run for future office.
Yes.
So every time there's a vote, he doesn't just say why he approves it.
Yes.
Back when I was 9 years old, I had a newspaper out.
The grandstanding.
And I'd go house to house and people would tell me. And now I see and I ride by and I look at those. You know what I mean? He's like, just tell me why you want to vote for it and let's move on.
Oh, City Council, Lynchburg, Gillette. He was that guy.
Dr. Gillette. Oh, I mean, God, that was must-see TV back in the day when he and Helgelson used to go at it.
Yes, go at it.
I mean, it was electric. Like they're going to get up and start swinging dudes.
Fist fights.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like professional fighting.
Oh.
I mean, professional verbiage fighting.
All right, on to 80 million my ass.
Yep.
Life, liberty, happiness. 80 million my ass.
Come on, man.
With Brian Schley.
We choose truth over facts.
Still funny. All right, play this cut.
As a matter of fact, as you walk into my office in the Oval Office in the United States Capitol, guess what? You know who founded and designed and built the White House? An Irishman. No, not a joke. Not a joke.
An Irish man built the White House?
Okay, but let's break it down for his first screw up. He said the White House at the Capitol.
His office at the Capitol building.
What we're talking, does he forget where he's at?
So he said...
All right, play it again.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, as you walk into my office in the Oval Office in the United States Capitol,
Oh, God.
guess what? You know who founded and designed and built the White House? An Irishman. No, not a joke.
Okay.
Okay, but what's your point?
The laugh track. And,
there it is.
You know, he sees a couple people laughing, and he's like, what are you laughing for? I was trying to tell you something good. You know what I mean? He's so delusional. And Tucker talked about that last night, too. I know I bring up Tucker all the time, but I have to watch him every night. There's no way he's running again.
Oh, of course he is.
By the way, you got to watch the Trump interview from last night.
That was good.
I heard
it was so good. He was so good. There were some parts that are cringy to make you go, but God, I just love he talks. He's not prepped.
All right.
He just talks.
Am I missing something, or is the Democrat Party finding out that it's going to be very difficult to beat him?
I think tonight is part 2, but they ended it last night. And the question was, is there anything that they do on their end that would make you quit? He said, no.
There's parts that are, the reason I'm saying this is that I'm now seeing people who normally are not Trump fans backing Trump. Like Joe Rogan making his statement about Trump is huge.
Joe Rogan's been a Trump guy.
Joe Rogan has said, I will not have him on here because I don't want to be part of that discussion. He's made that very clear. After UFC this past week, Joe Rogan said, he's our guy. You did not hear this place go crazy.
That was so cool.
And so that's one person. And then I saw another guy, Stephen A. Smith. And I'm like, all right, something's going on. You know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors, people are going, all right, he got shafted or something. I think the conversation's being had.
In the beginning of the interview last night, he said during his indictment that there were people on the court side, like on the court, you know, when you have to get arraigned or whatever they call it, that there were people crying, like, we're sorry we're having to do this to you.
This is so sad.
You know what I mean? But is anybody ever going to show that or report that?
No, of course not.
But if he doesn't say it, no, you would never know it.
No. And let's just be honest. The district attorney suing Jim Jordan now.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to win that one?
Yeah. And then I saw it was a Trump-appointed judge that's hearing that case. So we'll see what becomes of that.
Hey, thank God we had Trump for a while, that we would have Trump-appointed judges. Thank God we did that.
You were exactly right.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, on to the best part of the show, but
second
before
best.
that, first best. We have a special guest today, so we're getting ready to bring him in. But first,
let's wait till after he performs, and then we'll say how it was. Might be the 5th best part of the show.
We have to pay bills and get our insane profits.
Okay. We all know having insurance is required, but having good insurance is not. There is a difference. We all get quotes, throw the policies in the trash, and hate when we see the invoice each month. But when we need them, that is when it matters most. Having a dependable agent like David Honaker makes all the difference. David Honaker is our local State Farm agent and proud sponsor of Life, Liberty, Happiness. When you need your insurance to work, make sure you have a company that works for you. That company is State Farm, and that agent is David. Call him today at 540-586-8194 or stop by their office next to Arby's off Route 460. Like a good neighbor, David is there.
Mud puppies better be in there too.
Oh yeah, I remember that place. That was great.
Yeah, how could you not?
All right.
Yeah.
I remember going. In our studio, we have Mike Mayberry, school resource officer and Campbell County Sheriff's Department deputy, correct?
No.
Oh, God.
See, wrong from the start.
Oh, you're not a deputy?
No, I'm a lieutenant. The deputies are the ones under me.
Hey.
Oh, moving on up.
Oh, I did not realize that. Did I miss that in a memo?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
God,
yeah.
It's been so long. So people probably don't know our backstory. Mike and I have been friends for 30 years. Longer than that.
Yeah, we're old, Brian. It's been about 40 years.
Well, 40 years. So anyway, where are you coming from? I mean, do you work today?
Yeah. So Campbell County's on spring break this week, so I'm working out of the office all week. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about, you graduated from Rustburg.
I did.
God knows what we did. It was CVCC, a little bit of that, Lynchburg College. Mm-hmm. Then you landed with Lynchburg Police Department.
Correct.
Which was a shock to all of us when you decided that.
And myself. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie.
So, I mean, do you remember why?
9/11.
9/11. Oh, man. Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the time we were coaching in Rustburg, remember?
Yeah.
Was going to LC. I was actually in the, I remember the day I was actually,
that's right.
I was actually subbing that day because I was going to college, subbing, coaching football at Rustburg. And I was in the mailroom and they had the little TV in the corner. And it's weird because the stand is still there, but the TV's not. And Barbara Alston, who's the bookkeeper, she's in the book room and I'm standing there with her and she's looking at the TV and I was like, what is that? And she was like, I don't know, something's going on in New York. And it was Good Morning America.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like everybody else our age, we, remember where you were at. I was in the book room, Rustburg High School, and as a sub. And I remember that day we had football practice, and we had to shut practice off. And I remember looking up in the sky, and there was planes up there, and we was watching the news all day.
Everybody was freaking out.
Planes not supposed to be up there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know, it like changed me. You know what I'm saying? Like it did a lot of us. Yeah. And literally in January of 2002, I applied for LPD, got hired January of 2003, took a year. So
when you took the job at Lynchburg Police Department,
mm-hmm.
one of the things, did you aspire to move into the school resource office job, or did you want to do that to be able to coach, or how did that all come about?
Yeah. So, I mean, at first when I went to LPD, it was all about just like any young officer. I wanted to be on the streets doing all the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, you did ride-alongs, you remember. But as you...
God, y'all had some good ride-alongs.
Oh, my God. We have had
I used to love those things. We've talked about some of them on here.
Oh, absolutely. So over the year, as you're doing this, you start going, all right, what are my paths, because, in police work, there's so many paths you can take. And I saw myself wanting to get back into, because my whole goal was to be a teacher anyway, then I changed and became, so I was like, what better way to be a teacher and a police officer is be a resource.
School resource, yeah.
So in 2009, I applied to be a resource officer in Lynchburg and got the job. And that lasted 2 years because in Lynchburg, they move you around a lot. Uh-huh. So I did it for 2 years, loved it. Like, and I was like, I want to do this the rest of my life. Like,
okay.
So I came out in 2011. I was married by that time, had a kid, stayed. And then I just, it was one of those things where you just stay, you know what I mean? In your career, you start getting promoted at the job. But my whole time, I was like, I want to go back to this. Mm-hmm. And then in 2018, literally not looking, I got a phone call. And that's how I ended up in Campbell County.
Perfect. Back at Rustburg.
Oh, yeah. That was the job they offered me. And
that's perfect.
The story with that is even crazy. Like, I literally was not looking for a job. I planned on retiring from LPD. I loved it there. I mean, a lot of people don't. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I did. I liked the guys I worked with. I don't know. I just liked it. Well, I was going to pick up my kid from field day. Okay. It was summertime. It was like the next to the last day of school. He was at Rustburg Elementary. I went to pick him up. The captain was there, he was just there. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you come work for me? Just out of the blue. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I just kind of shook it off. We left, end of school, whatever. We go to the beach. this dude starts calling me while I'm at the beach, sitting on the beach. Man, I really want you to come work for me. I really want you to come work for me. And that's how it happened.
Oh, well, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
All right. So to the layman person like myself and Trent and others, what's a daily activity? What's a school resource officer look like?
So, I mean, a great resource officer, I mean, seriously, because, you see all gamuts of it.
Sure.
Is one that literally is active all day. Because the way I describe our job is we're patrolling a beat, okay? Just like you would in the city. Your beat is your school, okay? Like, say, Rustburg High School, it has 900 kids, 100 staff. Those 1,000 people are yours, okay? You are their police officer for that day, for 8 hours a day, every day. You're making sure they're safe. You're making sure you're building relationships. You're making sure that they can come to you and talk to you about something going on at their house. Because and it's daily, like every day. So you should be walking around. You should be building relationships with the kids and the staff. And it's not, because most people say, oh, it's about the kids. It's about everybody. Yeah. The custodials, the cafeteria staff, the administrators, central office. You're building all of that.
Yeah.
So literally your job daily is just building relationships. And now the number one job of any SRO is to make sure it's a safe space.
Yes.
Especially in the world we live in today.
Correct.
And that's what we train for daily. The other stuff, when I look for an SRO, because I can train them how to make that school safe, I'm looking for, can they communicate? Are they people? Do they like people?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Can they build relationships? That's what I look for. The other stuff, as far as the safety stuff, we can train that. So,
you got something?
Yeah. So I don't have an agenda, so I'm just trying to wait till he looks at me if I can ask a question or something.
Apparently, I have to speak to you. You don't get my signal.
SRO officers. All right. And I was going down the road, and I think I texted Brian, man, we got to get Mike on because of the news. It's just been in the story with Tennessee and just the stories weekly that we hear. Yeah. And I don't know how familiar you are with what goes on at other places, but the person, the guy that, was it a woman that shot up that wanted to be a guy? Is that what it was that just did the one in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the reason she didn't choose a particular school because they had security, right? I think I understand that.
Right.
Then she went to the other school and shot through the doors and went in and did all the damage and devastation that she created.
Correct.
Are you guys trained for such to that? I mean, like when somebody shoots through the door, you're near the door. I mean, that you get to the door quick and people inside their classes know what to do. Is that stuff that goes on in our schools?
Oh, absolutely. So, and know this, like every incident, and not just a school. So the thing that just happened at the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As soon as that happens, as soon as they release a report, video camera footage, which they just released on that bank, by the way.
The one in Louisville? The one
yes, in Kentucky. Okay. So I literally you asked what I was doing today. Literally, that's what I was doing today, was researching the bank. So I research all that stuff. And then I find out, all right, what can we do better as a law enforcement agency? Because, the criminal's always one step ahead. I will always say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we literally train for all of that. And I can't get into specifics, like certain things we do. Obviously.
When you watch the video of that tactical team, and I'm using the wrong term.
No, they were just road guys.
When they just they sent the perfect guy up front, like, hey, it's we hear where it is. It's your turn to go.
The reason they were doing that.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's common knowledge in our world. So if you watch them, they wasn't a broom. Okay. When they did that, the guy with the pistol went in. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because it's a small room.
Mm-hmm.
They went down the long hallways. They pushed the rifle forward. Okay. Longer distance.
Ah.
So that's,
that's so cool. I would never thought of that.
Well, I mean, but a lot of
in their world, that is.
Yeah.
It just,
and
go back on your training.
Right. And honestly, that video, I don't know which one y'all have seen, because I can see certain ones. I don't know if y'all can see the same thing. Outstanding. To me, when I watched it, it looked like a training video.
Wow.
That's how great they were.
Yeah.
Like it was hard to find a flaw in it.
Yeah.
Like in what people don't understand, that was 4 guys that just hooked up and went in, probably never trained together.
Wow.
Probably because they had different uniforms on, so they might not have been even in the same.
Man, the stuff you see is not what I even thought about when I saw. That's cool.
Right. So it's little things like when 2 entered the room, 1 kept the hallway. That's little things that we train on. What that means is, because if it's just me and Brian and we go in a room, well, the hallway still is not safe anymore. Now we got to clear the hallway again.
Oh, wow.
But see, they kept somebody in the hallway. I mean, it's perfect stuff.
You know what's wild? It's different perspectives. So someone I trust in the city, I was just having a conversation with him, and it's big news. And he said, man, can you believe it took them 16 minutes to get rid of that person? I was like, dude, 16 minutes, they didn't know that was going to happen at that time. Right. 16 minutes is pretty fast.
Now, I will say this. It is a long time.
Oh, okay.
And what I mean by that, I don't know. I'm not saying they did that wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying it's a long time given what he had in that school.
Yeah.
The other big take I take from, because 16 minutes with the ammunition and the weapons they had, they could have killed everybody in the building.
Yeah.
In 16 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I guess so.
But the big take from that is, because people will say it's 16 minutes, but the big take that everybody's not seeing and forgetting about, lockdowns work. She was looking for people and couldn't find them.
Oh,
they were locked down.
Oh man,
see.
Well, this is why we wanted to have him here.
Yes, this is news will always give you the negative.
Yeah.
No, that whole thing was incredible.
Yeah.
Like it was literally
it's a tragedy, but you have to understand there are things getting done right.
So it could have been so worse.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been. I mean, 6 souls were lost that day, and which is terrible, and it breaks my heart. Right. I mean, I cry over this stuff, I truly do. But also, those officers saved so many lives. Lockdowns, that principal saved so many lives because she trained on lockdowns, because I read the story about that where she had been training for lockdowns and had put in the sirens and the buttons and the whole 9 yards. So it all saved lives.
So if we had an SRO at that school, would it have made that 16 minutes quicker?
It would have been 60 seconds.
Okay.
Like my.
So why don't we do that at every school? That's what I don't. Why don't we have 2?
Campbell County does.
Okay.
So I'm going to brag about it.
Yeah. No, that's why I wanted to hear.
So
yes.
5 years ago, after Parkland, Campbell County School Board actually voted to put a school resource officer in every school, which is huge. It's 14 schools. So you got to come up with 14, budgets, 14 SROs to put, you got to come up with the money.
Yeah.
Well, the school board voted, we'll pay for it. So it was that important to them to pay for it.
So cool.
So 5 years ago, we did what now the state of Virginia is trying to pass legislation, because they're trying to pass where every school in Virginia has an SRO, but they're just now doing this where Campbell County's done it 5 years. So we're 5 years ahead of the curve. So we're not looking for people. We're looking for how can we get more equipment? How can we get better training?
Yes.
So we're 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because I look at Bedford County, they're trying to put one in every school right now. They can't find the bodies. They just can't find them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Absolutely. And where we're fully staffed,
Wow.
And so it's.
Yes, it's hard. But all right, so Trenton Ave had this question, and I'm curious to get your point on this. I'm a big believer in all of the above. Well, let's not try. I mean, let's try everything we can.
Yeah.
So he and I have discussed, what would it look like to put a 12-foot fence around a school?
Parkland had one.
Okay.
If you go back to Parkland, they had a fence.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back and read what happened there, because I went to a training 2 years ago, and the investigator that investigated Parkland, where he charged SRO and charged other people, rightfully so. The student that came in and did that, he was a former student, so he knew when they unlocked the gates.
Okay.
So he came in the gate that was unlocked. So unfortunately, gates and fences and walls.
Well, that's why we're asking.
All the things are great.
It is.
No, they're great, but they're not foolproof. Nothing is. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is, because they're going to have to be open. They're going to have to be unlocked at times. They're going to have to be. But we always look to do that stuff. Now, at the end of the day, it always comes back down to the mighty dollar.
All right. So is there anything that you would like to see?
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot of things.
All right. Well,
the cool thing about where I work is we have a great relationship with our school administration.
You do.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yes.
Dr. Stanley and Dr. Johnson, I literally could call them right now if I wanted to, and like, hey, this is what I want to do. They call me all the time. They trust us. We trust them. So literally, prime example, I'm not going to get into specifics, but after what just happened, I called him, Dr. Stanley. He's the assistant superintendent of Campbell County. And I said, hey, this is what I want to do, the 14 schools. What do you think? He said, you give me a number, we'll make it happen.
Wow.
It happened that fast. Like literally that fast.
I can't. I'm having a hard time getting past the doctor.
He's
Stanley.
Dr. Stanley.
Dr. Clay Stanley.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I know.
Hey, by the way, I'm
people.
gonna throw a shout out because I'm sure my wife's gonna hear this. But in 2 weeks, my wife will be Dr. Heather Mabry.
Oh,
that's
wow.
I'm just throwing that out there. So.
She's so
Okay,
cool.
can we tell a quick story on your wife, real quick?
I don't know, man.
No, you'll love this, Trent. I think it was her first. She's scrubbing in to go into a heart issue. You remember this?
I have no idea where you're going with this, but go ahead.
I'm pretty sure you'll have to ask her, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure this was the first time she's going in to do something with a heart
Cath.
catheterization.
It was probably
something.
Cath or something. Yeah.
She's a nurse, right? Or
Nurse practitioner, soon to be doctor and nurse practitioner.
Wow.
On the wall or clipboard, whatever, it says B. Schly.
Oh yeah.
Freaks out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Says she can't go in. The doctor's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I can't. That's like my husband's best friend. It wasn't.
You're right.
It was my cousin Billy Sly,
Oh, wow.
who was 3 times older than me, but he had a heart attack.
Right.
And luckily, she calmed down, did everything. But I
That's
just
interesting.
Oh yeah, when she told
of all
that
the
story,
names.
I was like, "Oh my god!" She got freaked out over it. But that's awesome. She is.
A quick story with it, just since we're talking about that. When I was at the PD, I was working one day and we had been in a car accident and had some nerve stuff going on. Didn't know at the time. Anyway, my left arm started going numb and pain started going down it. Well, immediately when you think left arm, my wife at the time worked in the cardiac unit.
Yeah.
Freaking me out. You know, I'm like, oh man, am I having a heart attack? You know, it's like, oh no. So I went over to the medic and they took my blood pressure. It was out the roof and they was like, we got to take you over to the hospital. I was like, you can't. Because literally my wife's on call right now. Like, you cannot do this. Who's waiting on me when I get there? They'd already called her, like her and like cardiologists and all these people were there. I'm like, oh, I'm not having a heart attack. I promise. Thank God I didn't. So.
All right, back on school.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm glad we got off on that. So basically, the question that I wanted to know, if you could do one thing right now, and anybody would agree on it, what can we do as a society to make our schools more safer? That you see. I mean, you hear the stuff, armed teachers.
Yeah.
Or
I'm not a fan of that.
All right, tell us why.
Training. Plain and simple.
So here's my question.
So how about SROs at every school?
I mean
that's step one.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean to me, that's
definitely.
because and we'll go back. The reason for that is you go from 16 minutes to 60 seconds. Because what I tell my guys is, when I teach this to people, is give me 60 seconds because it's going to take me a minute to get anywhere. I don't care if you're in the main office and you got to go upstairs. It's going to take you about a minute to get there because we're not running to our death.
Yeah,
you got to tactically respond.
Yeah.
I'm not running. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just that's bad training. You're not going to run to your death.
Yeah.
You're going to go to stimuli, but you're going to go in a tactical way. So about a minute. You know what I'm saying, to get anywhere. A minute. Give me a minute. That's why lockdowns work. That's why a resource officer in every school would. I mean, because you would go from 14 minutes to a minute. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my number one. Number two, I have a hard time with because we grew up at a time where you didn't have to do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Was there still stuff going on? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
We just didn't see it every day because we didn't have 24-hour media. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have Facebook. It won't all over us. And, you know, it just won't in our face like it is today. I still think that stuff was happening, just not as promoted, I guess you would say. But my number, so I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to see a police state in our schools.
No, I don't.
I don't. And I'm a police officer for 20 years. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I also think if you had some type of wanding devices that they had to walk through, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me because then I feel like they're living in a police state.
Yeah.
But if you had metal detectors, I think that would
GW Danville, we walked through metal detectors for basketball games.
Yeah.
That was just
right.
something we did.
Yeah. And honestly, I think if we had them, I think that would be a deterrent.
I guess, okay.
My
whole thing is the ones that we keep reading about, they weren't at school.
Oh, I know.
It was
Yeah, I know.
something.
Yeah, they come to the school.
They come to the school. So
That's
I
true.
guess
And that's
I've
hard
always,
to stop that. I mean, our doors
we
are locked.
learned-
We got cameras. You know what I'm saying? So it's
in Bedford County, this is interesting. When my kids were going through New London Academy, a teacher took the initiative. I think it was called Paw Patrol, something like that.
Yeah.
And she would recruit dads
Yes,
to
they have
come
that.
walk the hallway.
Yep, they
And
have
I did that. And dude, you can't imagine how
dad's
many,
on guard.
you can't
It's
imagine.
actually a thing.
Yes, Dad's on guard.
Yep.
You can't imagine how many people were just thankful that you were walking the hallway.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not armed.
No.
I'm just a dude.
Yeah.
But you can see.
And it made kids comfortable that there's somebody out there.
And more eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing is you have eyes. Because you think about a teacher, they can't see what's going on in the hallway or outside or whatever. I mean, it's just an eye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No,
So I think if we can send so much money to Ukraine,
Thank you.
why can't we have an SRO at every public school?
Of course.
It's obviously an affordable act.
Because that doesn't get votes. Votes are taking away your Second Amendment right.
Oh, well, and honestly, taking away SROs. Because, I mean, if you go back to it 2 years ago, that was the big thing.
Oh, yes. They
Even in
wanted
Virginia,
you gone.
They wanted us gone. And honestly, I was scared it was going to happen. Thankfully, you know, we had a Republican get voted as our governor because it probably was going to happen.
I don't understand why that
We
would
would have
be.
hired you to
I mean, the safety of our kids should be number one in everything that we do.
Shouldn't even be a question.
You know what we should do? If we were successful, we would know it when the shooters start going to the malls and killing. Because we have protected the kids. They're just going to go somewhere else where there's not guns.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where there's
absolutely. Because, I mean, they're looking for soft targets. I mean,
exactly.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's
how I'm going to go down with infamy.
Yeah.
Is take out kids.
And what I tell people too, it's in their head. It's kind of sick when I say it, but they don't look at you as a human. They look at you as a number because they're trying to beat the last person's number like a video game. So if it's 14, they're looking for 15.
That's my worry. Video games.
Oh no, it's very true. I mean, I've been to trainings about that too, where they look at it as not a human. They look at it as you're not a life.
Yeah.
You're just like a video game. You will respawn. You won't. So
yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Well, I sure appreciate your service, man.
And thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
we've got second hour coming up here in a minute. Oh, don't worry, you'll get your.
Can I talk about the 5 restaurants?
What are yours?
Mine?
Yeah. What do you? What do you miss? What do you miss?
What I miss? Okay, that's different than what my 5. So
it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I miss Jazz Street Grill.
Jazz Street Grill. I don't know that I ever went there.
It was right beside Mud Puppies, where the Walmart owned the Walmart of it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a
little
Louisiana,
right
right beside Mud Puppies.
Yeah.
That was a cool little place, man. They play like jazz music.
Yeah.
It was a cool vibe. Like it really was. But then right next door was Mud Puppies, the greatest sports bar Lynchburg ever had.
Mud Puppies.
We spent a Christmas there.
Yes, we did. Oh, how could I forget that? Literally at the time we were the 3 of us. It was me, you, and Jamie.
Single.
And we were single, and it was Christmas Day. This was the lowest of
and it was over.
And literally,
we ate wings.
We ate wings and had adult beverages, and we got waited on by a girl that was dressed up as Miss Santa on Christmas. And I remember looking at Brian going, "Man, we've
hit rock bottom
we've ever been, man." Yeah. But hey, we remember it, and that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly right.
So Mud Puppies had the greatest wings ever.
Yes.
And yeah. So to the point of this, I found out who made their sauce. Okay. And I started buying the sauce from this cat.
Oh, no good.
I really did.
From this cat.
I did. I'm not going to tell you his name because, I got the secret. So then Ale House has got to be.
That was number one on mine.
It's got to be number one. Down. I mean, because the 3 of us.
I can't believe I forgot.
The 3 of us, literally, that's sitting at this table, I don't know how much money we spend that way.
How did they go down?
Like, literally, just because of us, they should still be a business.
They literally retired off of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're sitting at the beach. They're sitting at the beach house because of us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. God, I love that bar.
Who didn't? Hey,
number one.
I saw on Craigslist literally that somebody was selling a part of that bar, like an actual part of the bar. I was gonna buy it. I'm not joking. I was like, I'm gonna buy this. I had nowhere to put it though, and they wanted $1,500 for it, but I didn't care. I was like, to me, it was worth it. Like, I spent more than that in a weekend.
You remember the best moment?
The cards.
Oh, that was okay. The second best moment. The best.
My wife's listening. So
no, I was going to give you the clean version. The best moment was when we got back from the state championship. You remember we went to the Ale House and we walked through the door. The coaching staff.
It was like everything.
And the whole place went nuts.
They clapped. It was cool.
And we were like, whoa. Like you felt huge, right?
And then we watched the news of us winning it while we were in there. And then somebody came over and was like, everything's on us.
Oh,
you remember who that was?
I do. I'm not going to say it, but yeah.
I can't remember his name.
I do because I work with him now.
I remember what he did for a living. He was like a assistant district attorney or something, right?
Yeah, he was.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Oh, it was awesome.
That place was so cool.
And then the ground round.
The ground round.
So literally, that's where I spent my 21st birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, Brian was there. He probably don't remember.
That's where Brad met his first wife.
So yeah, ground round, L House, Jet Street, Mud Puppies, and and as far as restaurants go, I'd have to throw in the Crown just because it was such a Lynchburg place.
Definitely.
But the Landmark was right beside the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So I heard y'all talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I went to the prom there. So because it was like they had a piano player and stuff.
Y'all go together?
The cleaners? You left out the cleaner.
The cleaner. Yes, we did go together. The cleaners was not a restaurant. That was a straight up bar.
Well, that's true.
The one downtown?
Yeah.
Where the boats and stuff.
Well, now it's RA.
Yes, Rachel Alexander's, Robin Alexander.
Yeah, so that was straight up just a club.
God, you did bring back memories with the old Rumors.
Oh yeah,
Rumors.
God,
yeah.
Hey, and T-Bones. I don't know if you ever remember that. Yeah, T-Bones.
Gatsby's.
Oh yeah. Whew.
Millennial.
They turned into the Millennial. Yeah, that was anyway.
What do they do nowadays?
They
literally
kids.
They Snapchat and they Snapchat and meet in Target parking lot. That's literally what they do.
That's about it.
Oh man, well thanks, Mike. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Oh man, that was great.
Yeah, thank y'all.
So anyway, that's end of hour number 1. We will see you back on the other side.
You've just listened to a sample of this show. If you'd like to hear full and previous episodes, along with having access to even more content, listen only in the Grove Street FM app. Visit www.grovestreet.fm for more details.